Hello everybody, and let's jump right in. Welcome to the channel if you are new here. Today I am opening up the July Stationery Selection box. This box is chock full of amazing stationery from Japan. As a reminder, this is a Japanese curated stationery kit. All of these items are exclusive to Japan and pretty difficult to find anywhere outside of Japan. So just to let you know that is the whole theme and idea of the kit. With that said, let's jump right in. All right, so I've got my little informational paper here, and let's jump in. The first thing in the box is this really interesting pen. This is a multi-pen, 3 different color inks, and there's a really interesting grip on the pen. I don't know if you can see, you can kind of see the line right here, but it almost feels like there's a very, very real texture. It's almost like rubber and leather. If they could combine those textures, is what it feels like. But the interesting thing about this pen is that it doesn't have a very intense click. It's very quiet. That's the whole point of the pen, is that it is meant to be a quiet pen. So I think that's really interesting. I love having multi-pens. There is actually only 2 in here. I thought there were 3, but I guess it's just red and blue. Maybe there is black. Oh, maybe this is the black right here. So I think that's really interesting that they utilize that extra space to put the black clicker there. All right, so let's see, the next thing are these letterpress cards from Classicy. Now these have been around for a while. Even though they've been around for a really long time, I don't actually own these, so I'm really excited to have some of these of my own. I do believe I have some of the red ones, but I never actually got the blue ones, and I do really like the blue. It's a very, very pretty blue. It's not very intense, but it's bold. It's coming off a lot darker on the screen than it is in person. It leans into a sky blue in person, but it does look very, very bold on screen. So I'm excited to have an entire package of those. Next are these really interesting, they're not sticky notes, they're like sticky clips. I don't really know, but I don't really know how to describe it other than that. But basically, they're meant to pull off and clip into any kind of spiral system. So I have this Midori one that we got last month, and you just clip it in to each of the little prongs here. There you go. And then there's adhesive on the back where if you wanted to clip something in, you could. Let me show you how that works. So you just peel this off, and there is adhesive there. And it basically makes it so that you can tip things into one of your spiral notebooks. How cool is that? It's pretty interesting, right? I don't have a lot of spiral things, but the ones that I do have, I do tend to wish that I could tip in like bookmarks or business cards or just thicker pieces of ephemera that could withstand being its own tip-in. And this is a really interesting item. I've never seen anything like this for a ring-bound system other than like the Happy Planner items. So I'm really excited to try this out, and I'm excited that Mitz was forward-thinking enough to include an item in July to be used with an item that she sent in June. So that's really, really fun. Like I said, this notepad was included in June's box, so it is not in July's box, just so you guys don't get worried if you don't get one. Next is this really interesting thing. Now, as soon as I saw this, I was kind of sort of taken aback. Like, this is a very intense item to get into our kit, but I'm really excited because Mitz has really been honing in on keeping items in our boxes that will remain on our desks and in our stash for longer than a couple of months. Eventually these are going to run out. I say this every month, but eventually these are going to run out. The cards are going to run out. This notepad is going to be completely full. The ink in this pen is going to die. But having a permanent item like this, like staplers, rulers, scissors, these kinds of things that are going to last in our office for years and years to come and become, no pun intended, staples for our regular stationery use. I just really appreciate that. I really do. And that's not just me saying it. I truly really appreciate that. So it's a mini stapler and I think it's adorable. I love the color. I don't know if everyone is going to get this color or if the colors are going to be varied, but it is a mini industrial style stapler. And you just hold it in your hand like this and you staple. I love the size of it. It's almost mini, but not. So I love that. And she did also include a box of staples with different colors. So I have blue, and I will load the stapler. It almost looks purple on screen, but it's like a royal blue. And we will load our stapler up in just a second. Once we get through everything, we're almost there. The next item is this pack of stickers. All right, so here is the pack of stickers, and you do get 4 sheets in here, so there's quite a bit, which I love because I'm probably going to use one for myself and send the other 3 off in letters. I love sharing. I love the designs. I feel like they're really interesting. They're bold but not too bold, and I don't know, I just really like them. I think they're really fun. And the last item is another letter pad. This is from Midori, and I absolutely love this. I did take a peek at this already because I was really intrigued by it, and I always need a letter pad. But the interesting thing about this is that the top sheet is see-through with this really pretty floral design, and then there's a colored sheet behind it so it can show that color through, and the colors and change. So we've got a really pretty teal, a really pretty green, and then it's really pretty, it comes off really like neon green, but it's kind of like a 70s yellow. You can see right there. It's just the perfect spring combination, and I think it's really interesting that the colors shine through. And there's a writing board included, which you guys know I super love. So let's go ahead and load the stapler up and see what it looks like. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and load this stapler. So all I'm doing is just pushing this spring stick down, and it's going to release it from the little hole that was holding it in place. There's a hook at the end of it that holds it in place. And I'm just going to grab 2 small sections of staples, and I'm going to put them in face down. There's a little groove, so you kind of can't do it wrong. And then I'm going to put the stick back in again. There's a groove. You can see I'm showing you. You can't put it in wrong. It won't allow you to do it. So once you've got both of the grooves lined up, you just push the spring all the way in, and there is a little hook there that hooks into that hole, making it so that it can't come out. It's super easy to use. It's not hard. The spring is not hard to push. There's not a whole lot of tension there. And it's good to go. I'm going to do a test staple. It feels really good, really sturdy, and I'm really happy with the results of that. And I decided to show you how to use staples decoratively. Now, I know using staples decoratively it's been around for years and years, especially with junk journalers, but it's really fun to add texture in different ways, using different mediums, and I think adding staples is definitely a fun way to add extra texture. So there you go. All right, so that is it. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video. Here is the stapler. I did a very quick tutorial. I do want to test really quickly if you're still watching. I just do want to do a little swatch of these 3 colors so we can see what kind of red, blue, and black ink they are. All right, there we go. Pretty classic colors. I wouldn't say they're different or less intense. This one the red seems more of like a pinky red rather than a bold red. The blue is probably the same exact color as the blue on this, and the blue of staples actually go well with that as well. And then the black is a very fine black. I feel like it could be a little bit bolder. It leans into like a ballpoint kind of black, but I really like how they write. It's very fine and really smooth writing experience. So that is it. Just to recap, we got this really beautiful pen from Pentel, letterpress cards from Classicy, this really awesome Penco stapler that is very vintage vibes and I love it, a box of staples to go with our stapler, a letter pad to write all of our new letters with this new pen, stickers to decorate if we want to, these really interesting sticky tabs to include in our ring system books, our spiral books, and I think that is it. This is from last month and I was just using it as an example, but a very healthy kit. I really like the way everything came together and I hope that you guys have enjoyed it too. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I'll leave everything you need to find the stationery selection down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for hanging out. Bye.